Big up, everyone. How are we all doing? Oi, oi. Valentine's Day today. Happy Valentine's Day to everyone who's with their significant other, unless you're single, in which, bad luck next year, I suppose. We're going to have a little call-out show today and a call-in show, funnily enough, as well. I will get the link pinned in the chat very soon. But first, what I wanted to start talking about, and it's no new news either, is it really? It's the Merseyside derby. Now, Top Gooners are thinking automatically we're in a title race again. To be fair, I've never really thought that we were in a title race. In fact, you can probably go back on camera and see that I actually said we weren't going to win the league at the 1-1 at Brighton at that day. And I don't mean the one this year. I mean, at the beginning of the season when Declan Rice tapped it out and he got sent off. I haven't thought since then that we were going to do it. And I still don't. I saw in a team that day, a team that, weren't really fully equipped for it. We had plenty of chances, even with 10 men. And that's when you sort of see your character. Champions go on and win them sort of matches. And we were just absolutely nowhere near. And it's sort of the proof in the pudding. But now we've cut our points to 7. We all thought we were going to be 9. We've cut it down to 7. I don't think we're going to. But what I want to do, and I'm going to put a poll in the chat in 2 seconds, is I want to know where your heads are at. I'm going to get the link in the chat as well. I want to know where your heads are at. Chat, do you think Arsenal are back in a title race after Everton and Liverpool drew? I'm quite interested. Right, so the link should be now pinned if people do want to come on. No problem if you don't. There is absolutely no pressure for it. And I'm going to get a little poll out as well because I'm quite intrigued to see where our heads are all at. So let's have a little, give us 2 seconds. Start a poll. So we'll ask this question. Are Arsenal back in a title race? Question mark. And we'll come back to that at sort of some stage today. Right, so now let's get sort of cracking, yeah? Because there's a couple of little bits I want to talk about. And I want to sort of start with why is that poll not there? Let's have a little check. 2 seconds. Have I not uploaded that poll? It's the first time I've done it, so bear with us. It might come up there, it might not. We'll come back to it, whatever. So basically what I want to sort of start getting at is Arsenal. Are they back in the title race? I don't think the poll is up there, so whatever. I'll learn how to do it properly and we'll go back to it. So let's run with this notion because I don't think we are, man. And I want to put up our next few fixtures. So let's just pretend, right? Let's just amuse these top gooners. Now, these are our next 5 fixtures. And you'll notice our next one or our last one's on the 16th of March. And you'll notice Southampton for Liverpool is on the 8th of March. Now, there are no further games until April because it's an international break. So, and I've just noticed we've had a bit of Macy jump in. How are you doing, brother? Good.
Oh,
you're on the stage. What I'll do is I'm going to run through this and then I'll jump you. But thank you very much.
No, it's fine. I'm ready. Aaron. Sorry about that, mate. Sorry.
Now you're all good.
Yes, because I was on.
Sorry,
I was on a Northside's channel, but I paused it for a bit. So yeah, I'm here. I'm ready to get started on your channel, dude.
Yeah, no, you're good now. Thanks for coming in. So what I just wanted to sort of start talking about initially is the top gooners. They think we're back in a title race now. Now, my friend Macy, but like you, my friend, yeah, exactly. We've got a brain, haven't we? At the minute, if of course it's possible. The laws of maths state that it is possible, and I just want to delve into their sort of thinking. And this is the only way that I could sort of wrap my nut around this possibility, Aces. Yeah, so there's 7 points, yeah, and there's these 5 games here. Now, obviously, there's only 14 left after these 5. There'll be 9. Then you're really deep into a title race. We both expect Arsenal. Well, I certainly expect Arsenal to beat Leicester, and I certainly expect Wolves to come into quite a heavy defeat at Anfield as well. But it's them next 3 games after, because let's face it, Liverpool's 5th game, they should beat Southampton at home at Cantor. Let's get it right. If we are to get in a title race, this is where it's going to get back in there, and that's going to be Aston Villa away on Wednesday, followed 4 days later for Manchester City away, and then that follows of Newcastle at home. Now, look, I know, Mace, we've got tough fixtures in between them as well. You know, we've got Forest away, not an easy game. Manchester United away, you'd think that should be 3 points, considering this Manchester United team are pathetic. But we've seen our team at home getting knocked out the FA Cup are equally as pathetic. And Chelsea at home. There's winnable games there, Macy, man. What do you sort of think on that notion? Because if I'm sort of looking at this, after them sort of fixtures are done, I'm kind of looking, if we are to realistically be in a title race, I think they've got to lose to Manchester City and either lose to Aston Villa and beat Newcastle, or draw to Aston Villa and draw to Newcastle. I think they've got to drop between 6 or 7 points in them games for us to be sort of focused on. What do you think, my man?
Well, the thing is, Aaron, it's just Liverpool. Like, I know they're under a lot of pressure after the Merseyside derby against Everton when they drew 2-2, but I think it's impossible now, because even though like they dropped points against Everton, they're still 7 points clear on top of us, and it ain't going to be easy, because tomorrow is a very crucial game against Leicester, because Jamie Vardy's got an incredible record against us. He's got 13 goals against us, and that is an astounding record. And Rui van Nistelrooy knows something about beating this manager. I mean, do you remember in the Europa League when when he was in charge of PSV Eindhoven, and we came to their stadium and his side beat us 2-0? That was his master plan that game, and I think he might have a master plan tomorrow. So we have to be careful, but I'm not confident about tomorrow, because we're in a bit of a striker predicament, because now that the giraffe is injured, all these fan bases are now hyping up this other 17-year-old. Not in worry, there was another 17-year-old they're gassing up. That is
I can't think who that was. You're right. I've seen this. I can't think what his name was though. But you're right. Can't think off the top of my head. Go on, mate. Sorry. Yeah.
So it was another 17-year-old they were gassing up. That is going to be the next big thing at this football club, which this fan base likes to talk about. But I'm sorry. I mean, Leicester City at home is a tricky game, because we've not had a very good run at the King Power Stadium. We've always come out of there with nothing, because Leicester City, even though they're fighting for their lives, they're trying to stay in the Premier League.
Yeah,
it's going to be impossible to beat them, because they've got a fit Jamie Vardy who's got Jordan Ayew right between him, because them two together, they're the real problems up front. And they've got a very sturdy defense with Akola and Fierce in their defense, and them two big men, they could really give our front attack a real problem. And the goalkeeper they have, Mats Hermansen, he's back from an injury crisis, and he's looked comfortable in goal. Remember the time we played Leicester at the Emirates and we beat them 4-2? He was making mad saves all around. So I'm a bit worried about tomorrow, Aaron. I mean, I'm not confident about the game against Leicester, and if we lose to them, then it looks like our chances of the title could be slipping away from us, and only hope now is the top 4 race.
No, I'm totally with you on that. Listen, like it's a funny one with the top 4 race, because I think personally it's done and dusted, and I'll tell you for why, Macy. Yeah, because there's a 98, and this is Opta stats, not just one you've pulled out of Twitter. Yeah, according to Opta, there's a 98% chance from this point that England will receive the 5th Champions League spot because of our coefficiency. So, I mean, he's got whilst, yes, Arsenal, we are looking a little bit, out of sorts, or definitely not how you'd expect us to be. I can't see us finishing sort of 6th. So it almost sort of makes, for me, especially if you're maybe Arsenal, who should be a shoo-in to get top 5, for me, it sort of makes that a bit of a dead sort of one for us. I think we'll definitely get top 4. But do you know what I want to say on that, my friend? Is there's actually a worrying end to what I was just going to say there. And that is, mate, is that it's going to be guaranteed one more season, or at least the end of this season and a lot of next season, with Mikel Arteta in charge. Because these owners, and you know a lot about the owners as well, because I've heard you go, mate, and I'm sure you will at some stage again today. These owners only want this. I mean, we all know it. Everyone in this chat knows it. You know it. I know it. They only want the money. Now, Arteta pretty much already has brought that in for him. Listen, like I just can't see this manager going without Champions League football. And we all know that he needs it because he's not a winner. Why do we know he's not a winner? Because he hasn't won anything for 5 years. Do you know what I mean? We're not just blindly sort of going on pure sheer hatred or negativity or toxicity like everyone sort of says. We're sort of observing what we're watching with our eyes, and we're making an honest opinion and we're articulating it. Some on camera, some via keyboard. But the point of the matter is what I'm saying is this manager will be in charge of Arsenal Football Club if Arsenal get top 5 this season. We know it, didn't we? Because he's going to get that Champions League money. He's going to want to go again. How many times are we going to hear that silly little phrase before it gets boring? Oh, yeah, it already has. It's a little bit of a worry. And I'll ask you this, yeah, Macy, and this is what I'm going to ask this question. Where's this break point? Yeah, where's the point in Arteta's reign and for the board as well where it's bad enough that you have to sack him? I would say now, but realistically, from their point of view, that it's bad enough to sack Arteta, but not bad enough that all our top players don't want to leave and a top manager like an Ancelotti or Inzaghi want to come in. Because if we do fall out of Europe's elite competition, Bill Saliba and Gabriel Magalhaes and Bukayo Saka ain't going to want to stay there. And I can tell you one thing, Real Madrid and Inzaghi and Carlo Ancelotti, they're not going to leave Real Madrid and Inter Milan, respectively, to come and manage Europa League Arsenal, are they, bud?
Of course not. And besides, Saliba and Gabriel are 2 top defenders. And if we don't get Champions League football, then they could be looking at the barrel of going and playing for an elite football club like Real Madrid or Inter Milan, because that's the level of their clubs. But our football club, all we care about is winning out merch with Ian Wright and his little Ponzi of T-shirts. Yeah. And the fact that the board members and Tim Lewis and Richard Garlick, why didn't one of them ask Arteta face to face, ask him, do we need a striker, Mikel? Because they're too afraid of him, because he has all the power in the world, because he doesn't like it when people ask him that one question. And if they do, then say, nah, I'm not talking to you. I'm getting away. Yeah, because every single person in this world has asked this manager, do you need a striker? He's too scared to ask that, because he's just begging. Like, he just realizes that question could haunt him, because all he cares about the players that he has around him, but he never really cares about a top elite striker. He only cares about the dwarf in Jesus and the giraffe in Havertz. Well, 2 of them are not here. So what's he going to do tomorrow? Is he going to put Leandro Trossard up front? Because we know how effective he can be up front. Or if that's the case, if in doubt, and listen, I don't particularly rate him, then my only other option, he might go for Raheem Sterling up front. And I don't rate Sterling, because for me, he has absolutely poisoned this football club when he came from Chelsea. And you know how much I can't stand Chelsea rejects. They have absolutely come and they have still the living at this football club with their opportunities of using the power of blue to spread it all around the color of red, because this is what they do, Aaron, because Chelsea rejects don't care about Arsenal. They just only care about, they just want to show that they're playing for Arsenal, but they just want to use it to an excuse when they know there are Chelsea players inside. So listen, I'm not confident that we can go to Leicester and beat them, but I just have to hope and praise that we go for a draw, because that's the only option we have, because I'm not even that confident about tomorrow.
No, listen, I'm sort of totally with you. I said on Rashid's stream, I think it was, when we were sort of closing up the other night, he was asking about predictions. And I sort of said, and this is a shame, really, that it's got to this stage. I sort of said, my heart says 1-0. But my head says 1-1. Now, realistically, at this stage of the season, when you factor in everything about Arsenal and this manager over the last 5 years, how much you've spent, how long the team's been together, blah, 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 You should not be on match day 25 going away at a very, very, very struggling Leicester with the opportunity, regardless of the game in hand or not, to close the gap to 4 points. You should be going there thinking we're going to absolutely smash these. And do you know what? We might. Who knows? None of us have got crystal ball, my friend. But the very fact is, the vast majority of Arsenal fans are like, well, I hope we sort of can manage maybe a 2-1 sort of win. And to prove my point just here, good evening, my dear. 2-1 Leicester. This is the sort of point that I was sort of making. You know, it's a little bit worrying, really, to sort of consider. You know, we should be rolling our sleeves up and thinking we are going to eat these for absolute breakfast, lunch, and dinner, Leicester. And you know, we've got Joe. She's saying, you know, 2-1 Leicester. I wouldn't put it past it. I'm sort of, you know, heart saying a 1-0. You're sort of saying a draw. It's sort of it's a worrying place that we've put ourselves in it, really, when you sort of think about it. And by that I mean, you know, is this? I ask this question to myself all the time, and I'm sure many of you do as well. Is this what we expected 5 years ago when we were told to trust the process? Now, listen, we was all sort of conned and sort of said like, yeah, this is going to be a long thing. We didn't like it, but we sort of thought, all right, yeah, it is what it is. Now we should be reaping the rewards of this process, and it just hasn't come to fruition whatsoever, really. How is it not coming to fruition? I don't see Arsenal doing this. And we've had plenty of opportunities to. We threw away both of them cups. We put our best teams out in both of them cups. There's no excuse other than failure, either at a tactical level or a squad level. Because we let at home a Manchester United team, as poor as they are, as poor as we played, we had chances to bury that game. If a striker of any quality better than Kai Havertz was up front for that Emirates clash at Manchester United, then we are winning that game and we are in round 4. We played Leicester and we probably would have beat them. All of a sudden, we're in round 5. No Liverpool, no Manchester United. But we got Kai Havertz, or had Kai Havertz up front. And he missed a hatful of chances. And he also missed a hatful of chances against Newcastle. It's, you know, you're throwing away these competitions and now you're 7 points behind in the cup. It's not looking rosy. And this is why, you know, Macy, and I know you get very frustrated, and I'll bring you in on it now. How long are we expected to wait then, my friend? Because I think we've waited way, way, way too long already, bruv. How long are you expecting to wait? How long were you expecting to wait for the whole thing? How much longer are you willing to wait, bruv?
Yeah, I mean, I turned on Arteta when he threw us out of the Europa League to Unai Emery's Villarreal. You let Unai Emery, our former manager, school us out of that competition because Aubameyang, who for once, he was actually the one doing us a favor. He wanted to get us to that final because he had loads of chances to put us to give us a goal. And then for some reason, this manager says, oh, I know, I'll bring Aubameyang off and I'll bring Willian on because Willian needs to be played and because I've given him a full contract. And then look, Villarreal schooled us out of the Europa League, and that was when I started to turn on Arteta because I realized this man ain't good enough to coach a football club. And the fact that all these other fans continue to praise him like he's their messiah, like Igal, because Igal came on Dan Potts' channel and he said, oh, it doesn't matter if we finish second, then that's an achievement. Like, why is Igal's getting so like poisoned up with this whole finishing second thing? It's just absolutely jarring. Him, Dowdy, Rory, the stupid head, him as well. Rory's
he's no good, man.
Stand. He's another one because all he's talking about is that 17-year-old that is hoping that he could lead us over the line in the absence of Havertz and Jesus. And you've got dickheads like Babs, who's also coming out with this praise of that 17-year-old. Babs, who do you think you are? You look like a Punjabi DJ Khaled. Like the arrogance, like, and Robbie as well. Robbie from AFTV with his whole, but you can't slag off Arteta because he is still haven't lost a game under him. Shut up, Robbie. Who do you think you are? Are you the host of AFTV or are you just Arteta's love? Like, are you in love with Arteta? Or do you want to like smooch around with him? Like,
I think it's that, mate.
Yeah, because Yardman, every single time he comes on Robbie's channel, he's always saying, Arteta's not doing this, he's not doing that. Robbie's like cutting him off saying, oh, but Yardman, why are you talking about Arteta? Like, Yardman's got his own opinion, you bald-headed dickhead. Like, who the fuck does Robbie think he is? Is he an ATV presenter, or is he just a waffler who the Cronky's hired to be his back pocket behind the scenes? Robbie should never be should never host AFTV. He should give his whole microphone show to another person, and maybe that person can speak facts about this football club, because all Robbie does, he talks about this whole, oh, Arsenal will rise again, mentality monsters. Shut up. You're a bald-headed dickhead. Go support Luton Town because you said you were a Luton Town fan. Go support there, you fucking dickhead.
Well, yeah, man. Killed it. Yeah, well, that's 100%, man. Do you know what? Back in the day, it used to be, what was it? What's the slogan? Was it by the fans, for the fans, or something like that? Let me tell you, man, since they started weaseling their way into press conferences and everything like that, that's no longer a fan show. It just isn't. You know, when you're starting to get into that sort of level, because that's the avenue that they wanted to take down, you start hearing them ask Mikel Arteta questions and press conferences, etc., etc. That is not a fan. That is a businessman. That's a news report. You know, that's a journalist. That's whatever you want. It's not by the fans anymore. It's for Robbie Lyle's pocket by Robbie Lyle and his minions. That's all that is. You know what? I used to watch it a little while ago, you know, and you sort of slowly thought, wow, this is fantastic. You know, when it first come out and whatever, and then just gradually just sort of goes down, because proper fans like us, man, proper fans in the chat, proper fans that will watch this, and proper fans that won't. We all know better. We all can't be conned by little tricks. And that show, or that channel, fair enough, it's doing very, very, very well, but they've got a very, very, very gullible fan base, absolutely conned. We've seen Mikel Arteta con multi-millions of people. Surely Robbie Lyle can con 10% of that. And he's done that and then some. I mean, look, it's not going to be about sort of, you know, bashing AFTV, but the point that you're making is shows like AFTV, exactly like you say, mate, the Bavs and everyone like that, and everyone who sort of copied this toxic positivity, if you want to call it. This deluded. The delusion's the actual fucking word for it.
And another thing as well, I was watching Northside's channel. He was showing that video with Dan Potts. Lee Gunner was asking Igal. He said, Igal, if this team finishes second, would you still sack Arteta? And then Igal was too afraid to ask him that, and he called Lee a puppet. Lee is asking you a question, and you are calling him a puppet.
I mean, it's so the other way around, isn't it? If anyone was to be a puppet, I mean, it's definitely not Lee Gunner, is it? Let's just face that.
Yeah, Lee Gunner
just
always
isn't.
speaks facts about this football club because he loves this football club. I love this football club. You love this football club. Every single fan that loves this football club, they know the real standards of this football club. But dickheads like Igal, Dowdy, Babs, and Rory, all they do, they just say, oh, but Arsenal's a family because we're all part of something bigger.
Yeah, bollocks. Absolute nonsense, isn't it? Man, do you know what? Yeah, I'm just gonna come to this from me old man. Evening, father. Evening, son. Your team is a business without ambition. Tick. A striker earlier in the season would have got you the Premiership. Maybe half tick, but the board is happy with merchandise, season tickets, and sponsorship. Treble tick. I will go into the merchandise in a little bit. We'll bring it up on screen because there's another joke. But yeah, Dad, the point that you're making is right, mate. That's all they sort of care about. You know, they don't care about the football anymore. And what I'll say sort of soon when we get onto the merch bit, we'll just sort of back that up, because that's what we do, man. When we come on in, we call this out. We'll call it out with facts. We call it out as honestly as we can when we see and we articulate it, you know. But most of the time, you know, we're using facts. Hendo, big up, mate. Early kickoff playing away, not a good mix for Arsenal. Totally agree with you, mate. Can see this one being a boring stink fest. I mean, let's face it, if the last 30 odd games are to go by, I'm inclined to agree with you, my friend. The football has absolutely been dross at best. I mean, I'm turning up the Emirates like I'm going to Glastonbury. I've got like a backpack on with a sleeping bag in there, a nice pillow. You know, my daughter's given me a little like sleeping cap just so I can try and get a bit shut eye when we go to Arsenal, because it's bloody boring. I'm telling you, put you to sleep. That's what I've been doing when the kids, you know, my little one, she's only 4. She had a little trouble sleeping. Instead of watching the white noise on YouTube, I just put reruns of Arteta's Arsenal on there. She's straight to sleep, mate. Absolutely straight to sleep. But yeah, none of us are really sort of positive about this game. Yeah, and as I was saying again, struggled at the Emirates for the bulk match against. Yeah. We you know, and they come back with that 2-2, and I remember barely getting to my seat and thinking, Jesus Christ, what's going on here? Like, what is absolutely going on here?
Yeah,
it's madness.
Absolutely coming at us like foxes. Yeah. That's why they're called the foxes. If the foxes smell blood, then they will come for you. And that goal that James Justin scored for them was absolutely amazing. He absolutely
wasn't it? Yeah.
Rocketing off the crossbar and in the back of the net. Wow. I mean, James Justin, he's such an incredible talent. And I mean, we should have looked at him as our next target, but that's who we are, Aaron. We're not a serious football club. We're just the red version of Tottenham Hotspur with
sadly.
Yeah.
That's where it's come. And this is the point as well. Hendo makes a great point. And it's a point I sort of said-ish earlier as well. Great minds think alike, Hendo, mate. After spending 800+ million over the last 4 years, add another one to that, brother. The squad is now in a worse state by comparison when Arteta took over. Sack the fraud. Let's have a little go into that. And you're exactly right, man. Half a decade, over $750 million spent. And what have we got for it? This squad is an absolute worst place. I can't remember a Premier League team, let alone Arsenal in history. I can't remember a Premier League team in history that have had to beg to get a 15-year-old to break the rules to come into the Premier League just so they've got some cover on the bench, because that's what they're thinking of doing. By the way, Arsenal Football Club, they are thinking of right into the Premier League to get Max Dowman, who's only just turned 15 this season. That's why he can't play, because the regulations are, even though some might say, to clarify this for anyone who's scratching their nut, Ethan Nwaneri, yes, he made his debut against Brentford, nice 3-0 win, and he was 15 years old, but he was turning 16 that season. That's why he was allowed to play. So the reason why Max Dowman cannot play, obviously, as he's only just turned 15, he also cannot turn 16 in the same calendar year. So that's why he can't play. To clarify, because he's not turning 16 at any stage this season. And the Premier League are pretty firm on this. And Arsenal are either they are thinking they are or have done. It's one of the three. About writing to the Premier League to get them to sort of relax these rules because of, you know, the situation that we're in. Isn't that, Macy, just mad in itself? Chat, mad in itself. Hendo, Joanne Aces, isn't it mad to just think that Arsenal, after spending 800 million over the last 4-5 years, we have to beg the Premier League to get a 15-year-old boy who's just turned 15, still in school, sit on our bench? How embarrassing is that? Like, I mean, you can look at it and come at it from any angles. You can explain this and explain that. On the face of it, Arsenal Football Club, Arteta, anyone who's involved in this transfer recruitment process, hang your head in shame. That just in itself is pathetic. Absolutely pathetic that the third biggest club in England, the revenue that we take, and I'll add this on before I let you jump in as well, Macy. We've got an owner, Stan Kroenke. Everyone knows his name. I checked Forbes 5 days ago. He's worth 16, just on his own, not his wife, just him on his own, is worth £16.9 billion. No money from Stan, though. Guess what, though? And this is another reason why he won't sack Arteta. Because in the last financial year, and I checked this and have the statistics, Arsenal's revenue grew by 35%. Now, to put that into a financial figure for you to all realise, was £183 million profit in 1 year. And also add to the fact that in the last 2 years, and I'll do this time and time again for people that need to get it in their nut. In the last 2 years, we've renewed Fly Emirates deal. And not just pennies, these are big increases, yeah? Fly Emirates deal. Adidas deal. Visit Rwanda deal. We've also sold our training ground to Sober Realty. There's 4. There's loads of other mini little deals that, blah, 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 aren't worth naming. We also in the Champions League for the last 2 years. Also on PSR, we haven't got the Europa League seasons in there. We haven't got the No Europe in there. We've also made money this transfer window, and we didn't spend a penny in the winter window. Where's the money? Where's the money? Where's that gone? Where's all that gone? Where's the £183 million profit? Where's the profit in the summer? Where's all the money from all your new deals? Because Arsenal Football Club are in the most financial stable place they have ever been since 1886. Yeah? On 139 years of existence, this football club has never been in a wealthier position. Why aren't we spending money? Why did we just go through knowing full damn well that we could get ourselves into an injury crisis because we're already semi in one? Let's get that right. Knowing full well we needed some players in this summer, in this winter window, apologies. How could they let us get to this situation? And Martinelli was still injured. He got injured when the window was still open. What did they think was going to happen? Because if there's 6 players and they're getting frequently injured because they're playing too much, and you're 1 down, now you're down to 5 players, and you get injured because they're playing too much, now you're down to 4, and you're getting injured because they're playing too much, and now you're down to 3. I'll get 3 up in a minute. They're down to 3 because they were playing too much. Guess what's going to happen to the fucking 3? It's not rocket science, is it? If you've got 6 lads that are getting injured because they're playing too much football, and now you've only got bloody 3, I mean, it's not rocket science, is it? It just ain't. It's just not rocket science. What do you think's going to happen? And then we've got Raheem the Dream Sterling. You haven't seen the best of me yet. We ain't seen nothing of you yet, brother. And guess what we've got in plan? We ain't seen shit. And then we've got Ethan Nwaneri, bless his little heart, yeah? Help me, Ethan Nwaneri. You are my only hope for the Star Wars fans out there. We've got him coming in halfway through his breakthrough season, bless his little heart. And he's been injured as well. Hasn't played a Premier League full 90 minutes. And now he's got to play God knows how many. When we've seen him already break down. So there's 2 of the players. Trossard, blowing hot and cold. Don't want to be here. Don't play like he wants to be here pretty much half the time either. We've got these 3 up front. We have condemned ourselves to these 3. This is a prison sentence of a front 3. It's worrying. This isn't just one of the worst front 3s in the Premier League. Because let me tell you, and I'm going to go through it all in another show in detail, this is one of the worst front 3s in world football. Not even just European football, in world football. And I'll just say this one more time before I let you jump in. Like what Hendo says and like what I say all the time. After all that I've just factored in and said, 800 million spent in the last 5 years. What I've just said for the last 3, 4, 5 minutes. Is that what you expected after this length of time and amount of money? It's naughty. It's fucking disgusting. It's pathetic. Absolutely pathetic. I've gone there. Sorry about it, Macy. Go on. I'm sure you're going to jump in.
I'm happy
we just go. We're pissed off with this football club.
I know. I'm happy you said you talked about the 3 players that this manager has to rely on. I mean, Ethan. I love Ethan. He's a talented young kid. He's got so much potential in him, but the fact that this manager continues to disrespect him and say, "Oh, Ethan, you're useless. Sit on the bench. If you don't do as I say, I will drop you out of the first team and you will never get a chance." Bro, Ethan, for the sake of your career, go and play for a top football club, because this manager will absolutely kill your confidence in this football club. So go and play for like a championship team. And if you do that, one day, when you like turn 20 or like in another in your 20s, you can come to the Premier League and you can play for a top football club. But until then, show this manager your attitude and say, "Listen, Arteta, you fucking dickhead. If you don't give me a start, then I'm fucking leaving this football club and I will never start for you ever again." So this is what Ethan has to do. He's got to be man enough to stand up to this manager and just give him the proper treatment that he deserves. And Trossard, another one that that feels like he doesn't want to be there because
it's not just me, is it, Macy? Sorry to cut
Yeah.
you there, bruv. It's not just me, is it? Trossard, mate, he looks like he don't want to be there. And do you know what? I semi don't blame him. Yeah, sorry to cut you again, and I'll let you jump back in. When we signed Trossard, didn't he get man of the match? Player of the month for Arsenal for like the first year. He was scoring goals left, right, and absolute centre. What do you expect?
Yeah, and
yes. What do you expect? I don't know if you was hearing anything. Anything there. We've condemned ourselves. Big up, Jezza, brother, man. We've condemned ourselves to the point that was getting on. I don't know how much you heard, Jez, but what we're sort of getting in at is essentially, what are we doing here with our front three? A prison sentence of a front three. We've left ourselves with Raheem the Dream. You ain't seen the best of me yet. You ain't seen shit, son. Absolutely shit. And then we've got poor Nathan Nwaneri. We're going to flog him probably. And now we've got Trossard blowing hot and cold, just like what Macy was saying, blowing hot and cold. What's your thoughts on it, Jezza, man?
Well, what is there to say, really? At the end of the day, we've gone down this dead end, and now we're going to pay for it. Fact. The lineup tomorrow wouldn't be at all surprised. It's going to be Nwaneri right, Sterling left, Trossard middle. And is that a front three I'm confident with? Not particularly. I could possibly see Nwaneri chipping in one, but I'm predicting a 1-1. I think it's going to be a very conservative tactic. I mean, basically, at the end of the day, you know, I was watching a show early on today, and there's this one guy who's ultra positive about this and that. I mean, get real, people. Get real. You know, and this guy will not, at any cost, blame Arteta. Well, I'm sorry, you have to look at the head of the business, the team, and it's Arteta.
Yeah,
he is the one that has left us in this position. He is, there's on this stream, there is two people, right? One's a journo, one's another. He's not talking about getting Pogba in on a free. And I said to him in the chat, Arteta would never get Pogba because he couldn't handle him. He's 100% too strong a character, right? He wouldn't play the agenda. All Arteta wants is the yes men.
Now, yes sir, no sir. Free bags full, sir. Isn't it?
Well, we're going to see very shortly, right, as this season progresses, how these players react to this season. Because I honestly sit here and say some of these players are going to suddenly start to think, actually, I've been sold a lie. You know, people like Rice might start to think, what the fuck am I doing here?
Yeah.
What am I doing here? Trossard's clearly fucked off because he was sold a dream when we bought him from Brighton. Hasn't worked out. Right? We haven't bought the striker we should have bought. So that's another lie. Yeah. I mean, I don't know if any of you guys saw that press conference. The new narrative, gentlemen, is load. You have to load.
Yeah.
This guy is an absolute fucking used arsewipe.
I was. Do you know what? Yeah, I was going to get the press conference up very soon, but I'll say a little snippet now, and it's something that's really, really, really frustrated me. Yeah, he said when they was specifically talking about the free transfer market, and he was just like, oh yeah, you know, we'll be looking in at the transfer market, the free transfer market, but we'll only sign someone, and these are the key points I want to say. We will only sign someone if it's the right player. And I was just thinking, you snobby, narcissistic little prick. You are desperate. How dare you? Even just for the thought that you're being asked that you're going into the free market. Dude, you ain't in no position of control, mate. You are desperate. You are scraping the bottom of the barrel. And you're saying that, oh, no, we won't sign them only if they're the right profile. Just that's like saying to someone who's like a homeless person on the street and going into Tesco's and getting them a meal deal. And the homeless person going, no, I only eat stuff from Waitrose. Sorry. It's madness. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's absolutely madness. Dude, you ain't in no place whatsoever to start calling where you want to eat, sir. And it's just the same with Arteta. I'm sorry, you had the pick of the bunch for the last 2 transfer windows and you chose not to sign anyone. You didn't sign anyone because no one was available. Stop saying stupid things like the right profile, the player profile. It's a cop-out. An absolute cop-out. And I've said this I think on your stream as well. So if you're waiting for Isaac, then why didn't you get him 2 years ago? Because he's the same player profile. So either you don't know what player profiling is, or you just can't sign these big players. It's one of the two. Both cannot exist in the same universe. You are either shit at talent ID, which we all know you are, or you can't sign them. Maybe it's even a bit of both. But we've all known as well, and this is the frustrating bit. We know that there is a player capable of scoring goals, done it in England, albeit not in the top domestic competition of England, in Victor Gyökeres with a release clause. Now, I'm sorry, and you may or may not have heard, I just reeled out that in the last year, Jez, we have earned 35% of a revenue increase in profit, which amounts to £183 million in 1 year. And I won't go through the whole thing, but all our sponsorship details have been renewed in the last new year at a nice money. We made profit in the summer. Why can we not afford, whilst we're desperate now, this isn't even just the summer thing. In the winter, there was about 35 days that market was open. Why on earth can we just not go, Vic, we've activated Sporting Lisbon's release clause for you, mate. Do you want to stay at Sporting here or do you want to come to Arsenal? Oh, and by the way, Arsenal will probably triple your wages. And if you're only on about 60 grand now, we'll probably quadruple them or even maybe more. Do you want to stay at Sporting, mate? He's going to come, any, because guess what? That talks to everyone. But we ain't done it. We have just let this season. It's next summer, because that's what most of our fans are like. Most of our fans are like, oh, yeah, but in the summer, Jez, mate, we've been in 2 title races now, and that first one when we was all a bit surprised, and do you know what I mean, there was a little bit of a feel good factor around the club. I thought, do you know what, if we sign well in the summer, we might be all right here. We might actually go somewhere. We signed Kai Havertz. Like, what are we doing here? Then the next summer I thought, oh, well, you know, come on, now this summer we kind of have to do it because we didn't really do it last summer and we done nothing in the winter. I was thinking, you know, we've got to kind of do it now. What do? Mikel bloody Marino and Calafiori. How many more summers have you got to get? And now we're just throwing away the rest of it. Yes, we're still in a title race of some sorts. The top gooners will say. We all know we ain't. Jez, you're sitting there thinking, are we going to win the Champions League? No. Of course we're not going to fucking win the Champions League. But these lot, every time we're out of a Premier League race, Jez, every time we're out of one, they're like, oh, yeah, but we're a Champions League team. But now Liverpool drew on Wednesday. They're like, well, we're still in the title race. And what one is it? They just flip-flop from everything to everything. It's madness. It's just absolutely madness. And yeah, if you're still in the chat, links in there if you wanted to jump on for a little bit, mate. But yeah, Jez, I just don't get it. We have been absolutely killed, didn't we? With this winter window. And now we are begging. We are dipping and diving. This is phase 5. And we are in the free market, Jez, and he still don't want to sign the right players unless they've got the right profile. What's that all about, bruv?
The man's a fool. At the end of the day, he's a narcissistic, arrogant prick, right? We know what he's about in the fact of the bullshit I hear today that Saka may be back in March. Well, okay. Back in March, it'll be done then. It'll be done again.
Yeah.
I'm no physiotherapist. I'm no surgeon. I'm no doctor. But from what I've read and researched offline, that grade 3 is a very serious injury and can take up 7 to 8 months. 7 to 8
scar, Jez.
So that says to me, I don't want to see him any time between now and next August, September.
Yes. Thank you.
But
thank you, Jez.
But this manager, because he's desperate, right? And the debate I had earlier, I wasn't on the channel, I was in the chat.
Yep.
And this guy was saying, well, yeah, but, you know, it could be superficial. Super fucking official. Grade 3. And then you've got this idiot of our manager on his press conference today saying bullshit, bollocks, but he doesn't know what he's talking about. Well, if playing every 3 days, if you get a tendon or muscle thing, then it can take a lot longer than that, but we've got to play him. Why? Because you didn't strengthen the squad. You have played players, you've put them under stress positions because you did not strengthen the squad. I did a show, right? Tuesday with DJ and Kenny, right? Unger Wenger, right? Even in his bad latter years, we had a squad, first team squad, 37 players. He had to pick out of that a team for the Champions League, Premier League, blah, blah, blah. But we had 37 players to pick from.
Yeah.
What have we got now? We're now looking at possibly having to drag in academy. And good luck to them. I wish them well. If we do bring in academy players, I wish them very well. So at least they'll get their opportunity and we'll get to see them play. But this manager has brought nothing but blame on himself. And the fact that people still defend him. Can you not see the bigger picture? The bigger picture is the fact you didn't invest wisely. You bought players. People are talking, playing Marino in a number 9 tomorrow. Marino. He's not a box-to-box player. He can't run.
Mate, like I said, I call him Mikel Submarino because he's got the turning circle of one, isn't he? You know, it's just
It's
ridiculous.
a bit like when we had Xhaka. At least Xhaka in his last season put in a performance.
Yeah.
A bit like RVP. His last ever season at Arsenal, right? We nurtured him for 10 years. 10 years because of his injuries. And his last season, he put in world-class performance, Golden Boot winner. Then he fucked off to Man United because he
won the league.
And won the league. And
it's exactly like Xhaka.
Nobody, Arsenal, were not showing ambition. His words, same as Fabregas, right? Didn't see the ambition, fucked off.
What does that remind you of, Jez?
Well, it reminds me of Arteta, mate.
Exactly. And here lies the worry. This just isn't like a thing now because people are sort of saying, you know, maybe it's just sort of like a now thing, you know, they've, you know, this or that or whatever. Arsenal have done this for years. In the crucial moments. And I always thought, and I've said this plenty of times on Cam, my show, everyone's show that I've been on when the points come up, I've said that this summer, in particularly, because we see Manchester City's not coming to an end, but you know what I mean, their cycle, their players, it's not coming to them because they'll quickly get back there, but that sort of bit's coming to its sort of probably an abrupt end. This was a very pivotal summer where we really thought, you know what, Manchester City are probably just sort of slightly that. We're on the up, apparently. Let's absolutely kill it in the transfer market. Let's just send shockwaves through Europe and go out and just get a winger of note. You know, like I know he's gone now, but Kvaratskhelia, whatever his name is.
We go and buy another two left backs.
Exactly. Go release Gyökeres. And you know what? You could have done that to send these statements of intent. June the 1st, you could have gone bang. There you go, Sporting. There's your player gone. And you could have had him in early doors and just said to Europe, yeah. We've got our striker, you know, the one that you said we was all missing last year, and more's to come. This is the 1st of June. We ain't fucking around. But what did they do? They sat on their thumbs, twiddling around, and they signed a left back. Why did they sign a left back for? Kieran Tierney's there. Zinchenko's still there. It's mad. You think of the left back. Oh, yeah, but he's always injured. So you go and spend 35 million quid on Zinchenko, who's always injured. So then you go and buy Calafiore and spend 40 million on him, and he's always injured. And after all that, guess what? You just play an academy kid who's a central mid there. I mean, you just cannot write it. It's madness. Macy, you've been sitting there patiently, man. Talk to me, because I'm going mad here, bruv.
Yeah, Aaron and Jez, I'm just sick of this football club. Every single time we hope and pray that this team does well, they always let you down. Look at the games that we've capitulated at. We've capitulated to Bournemouth, to Brighton, to Newcastle, to Liverpool, to Manchester United. Like every single time we lose a game, the fan base will have an excuse, because in the Manchester United game, when we went out of the penalties, they were all like, none of them didn't even boo Arteta. They were just clapping because they were happy that they were like, they were happy that they were at the Emirates. Like every time we lose a game, none of the fans don't want to boo this manager. They're just happy that they get to be at the Emirates because they feel like the Emirates is their home or something, because that's what it is. Because none of these fans, because all of them just fancy Arteta because they always say he's the best looking Spaniard with this nice strip of hair and stuff. Like all these fans need to wake up and realize that this manager will let them down. And if they can, like, if we lose, like, say if we lose to Leicester and the away fans like realize what's going on, then they can start to like see the problem and then they can boo the manager. But I just don't know, because all these fans continue to show their love and admiration for this manager. Like it's just too much now. These fans need to realize that we as a football club need to start acting as a football club and go out there and get a proper experienced manager, because this manager is a novice. He wasn't good as a footballer and he ain't good as a manager, because he was never was good enough to get us over the line, because he always lets you down in every single important game that matters to us. And I can guarantee you, if we lose tomorrow, then this manager needs to be called out, and he needs a serious question by the journalists, by the press conference, by everyone around him, if we lose to Leicester tomorrow.
Won't happen, mate. Won't happen.
Yeah, that's because these journalists and the puppets around will say, "Oh, Arteta, disappointed for the win. Can you tell us what happened?" And then Arteta will say, "Well, it was a very bad performance by my team, but I will consider that as a progress, and I will take it forward to the next game against West Ham United."
Well said. Well said.
Yeah, because
that summed it all up, my friend. Because at the end of the day, he is too protected, because the journos that go to those press conferences are all scripted to a point. They're vetted. Oh, you can't ask that question. You can't ask that question. You can't say, right? It's all, I mean, you listen, his press conferences are full of bollocks.
Absolute shit. They are. There's not even any questions about the game, is there, Jez?
Well,
there just ain't.
Some muppet asked about Arsenal ladies are playing Tottenham. Who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
We're not talking about the Arsenal ladies. We're talking about Arsenal playing Leicester. There was I don't believe there was one question there today that said to him, "How do you think we're going to get on against Leicester?"
Yeah. I mean, like, I I mean, we've got it sort of there. Let me see if I can zoom in there a little bit. You'll have to forgive me because my computer skills aren't the best. But yeah, so we've got. Oh, is it just gone? Is it really? That's what we're doing, is it? Right, here we go. But yeah, so we've got questions like this on Kai's injury. You know, we all know about it. We don't have to go through that. And whether he enjoys trying to solve problems like this. This is what we're talking about. Listen to all the shit that he talks, just yeah. And whether he enjoys trying to solve problems like this. Why would you enjoy having an injury crisis, having a squad crisis that you created? That you created. And the point that you're making, Jez, this is the absolute moronic questions that you get asked. And the problem is, Jez, with things like this is if you don't ask the right one, you don't get invited back. So that just helps influence the absolute nonsense questions, doesn't it, mate? I mean, what are we sort of doing here, right? So on who might start up front, this is the madness. You've only got 3 attackers. It's fairly obvious, isn't it? And whether Ethan Nwaneri could fill that role. And he obviously goes on to say, I think previously, and this is something I don't know whether you two picked up on, boys. It was previously asked this question, about Ethan Nwaneri, and he said, Arteta's words exactly were, I think he can play up front too. You've brought him in, you give him his debut 2 years ago. You see him every day in training. What do you mean you think that he can play up front? How can you only think that he can play up front? So are you not even watching him? You're not even coaching him. So if you're not coaching these players, which probably was one of the reasons why you brought him in and probably brought losers in like Sterling, was because you could coach these players. But now you're saying that you don't even know if he's a striker or not. I mean, it's just nonsense after nonsense on whether Raheem Sterling could shine with regular football. I mean, he hasn't so far, has he? He had got regular football at Chelsea and he didn't do it. It's just all nonsense. Still no question about the Leicester game, though, whether he's tempted to rush back Bukayo Saka. And this is what you said, Jez, and this is what I've said as well. And we all know this, Arsenal community. We've already ruined this kid, ruined him. We will end him if we rush him back early. We will end him. Jack Wilshere settings, Abu Dhabi settings. We will kill him off. They dare bring him back. I'm with you, Jez. Get him ready for the next season. Get him ready for the next season. I don't want to see him anywhere near a match day football kit. Nowhere near it. He shouldn't be. We owe him that. Not us particularly, but Arsenal owe him that. Because they have flogged him since he's a little kid. He's been carrying. I don't know how he ain't got shoulder injury. He's been carrying this club for 3-4 years. He deserves. He absolutely 100% deserves to be given that opportunity to come back and properly rest. What do you think on that, Jez? I know you're the same as me in that thinking. We can't do it to this boy, can we? We can't. We owe him, don't we, Jez?
We do. We do. I just think it's an absolute disgrace.
Yeah.
That we're even thinking down this road.
Yeah.
To be quite truthful with you.
Yeah.
No. I mean, this is another Jack Wilshere, another Michael Owen in the making.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
ruined their careers. I mean, Jesus, four surgeries on his knee. That guy is fucked.
Oh, he's finished, yeah.
He's done. Yeah. He's gone. You know, it's a bit like what happened to not quite the same, but Santi Cazorla never recovered from the 3 operations on his Achilles.
Yep.
Never the same.
Yeah, he had skin grafts and all sorts, didn't he?
All kinds of shit. Never the same player.
What a shame. What a shame. I can't remember what year exact off the top of my head it was, but when he got injured after that, I thought we'd have had it. Was that the Leicester year, Jez? Where he got injured for the first time. It was, wasn't it? I was going to say 16. I wasn't too sure whether it was that or that. It was, yeah. I feel like if he was there, the way he was playing, and he formed a really good little partnership with Coquelin at the time, I thought we could have won it that year if he'd have stayed fit. We'll never know, of course, but he was brilliant when he Santi. He'd do a job in this midfield now. That's who we should be signing. Look in the free market and get Santi back.
To beat Leicester twice. We were the only team.
Yep.
Beat them home and away.
Was that the Emirates, that Welbeck last minute goal?
Yeah.
Valentine's Day. That was nearly it was on Valentine's Day, 13th, I think.
Well, we didn't beat the other teams that we should have been away.
Yeah.
We should have won that year. No question. That was my
100%.
last year, and that's when I said, "Fuck this, I'm out. I'm done."
Oh, was that your last year as a season ticket? Was it the Leicester year? I know you've not sold it for a while. I didn't realise this. Only just twigged to me now. That it was the Leicester year. Wow. Yeah. Well, I mean, fair play to you. You've saved a lot of money, but more importantly, Jez, I think you've saved a lot more bloody time. But you look into this, right? We are 5-6 questions in, maybe there or thereabouts in this, and I'm only going to skim over it, of course. But now, after all of that, they finally get to an Everton question, and it's on Everton using a photo of him scoring an Everton. Like, it's not even a football question. It's the first time Everton is mentioned, and it's about a photo of Mikel Arteta. How weird is that? I mean, what are we doing here? And, we get down on his reaction to Everton's late equaliser. Who cares? It's still not even about the game. And whether that goal proves the answer to strike short, it's still not even that. On Liverpool dropping points, I know some of it's sort of semi-relevant, but we're still not even asking a question about the game yet. Now we keep injured players focused. It's all nonsense. This weren't intended to be a deep dive into it. I'm just going over it. This is the press conferences that we have to deal with, people, on maintaining our pressing up front. I mean, well, you got your striker for 65 million quid, who's a midfielder that you signed to be your striker, and he got injured in Dubai on a pressing. So what do you expect? And guess what? The point that I made earlier, and I'll re-say it again because it's a bloody good point. If you've got 6 players that are fatigued and getting injured, the same injury, by the way, because they're playing too much football, what do you think is going to happen when you've only got 3 players then? I mean, it's not rocket science, is it? Madness. Oh, and finally, here we go. I'm facing Leicester this weekend. We finally get down to it. And he said, very difficult. And it's just blah, 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 blah. I want to get down to this question. Like I said, that he said on Kyan's hamstring. Who cares? We all know that. On whether he will change the approach, give it a different where is it? And whether he'll bring in a free agent. We'll explore every possible situation and make a decision from there. That's all well and good. Whether he wants to change the rules, and this is what I wanted to talk about, and what I sort of briefly touched on earlier. This is how embarrassing Arsenal are in phase 5. Macy, Jez, chat, everyone that's watched, will watch on catch up. Phase 5, 5. 800 million spent, 750 million, however you want to phrase it, there or thereabouts, in half a decade, 5 golden little years. Our phase 5 means that we are begging the Premier League to break their own rules so we can have a just turned 15-year-old kid come into play, and we're shopping in February in the free transfer market. How can you still back that? Arteta inners, Arteta sexuals, Arteta whatever the fuck you want to call yourselves. How can you still back your manager when we have to beg for a 15-year-old schoolboy to come and play football for the Arsenal, and you're swimming around in the fucking free market? And even then, you're still such a narcissistic little prick that you don't even want to sign one because he's not the right profile. Where do we go from here, Arsenal? Because this is a shower of shit. It's embarrassing. Absolutely fucking embarrassing. Someone take over.
You just summed it up, mate. I'm going to shut. I've got to bounce in a minute, but
yeah, man.
Basically, go, man. You know what I mean? It just sums up the value of crap that this manager is.
Yeah.
Right? He's proven right there in that statement, right, that he is such an arrogant bastard, right? Big up Hendo.
Big up Hendo, man.
He big up Tel. But you know, you can't make it up. I don't see this from any other Premier League manager. I don't see this. I really don't see it, because this is just beyond the pale. And how on earth can people actually still believe in this fucking liar? He's a liar. He's an abject liar, right? And people fall for it. I just don't see it, man. Anyway, I'm going to shut up. I've got to fuck off.
Jez, appreciate you coming on, bruv. Shout your thing out just while you're here, while you're here. We got coming up.
Sunday, I'm probably going to do something. Not sure what yet, but going to do something. And Tuesday, Monday, I'll be on the podcast with Lee and Kenny and Matty.
Yep.
Tuesday night, of course, will be the greatest defenders, best defenders, whatever.
Yeah, man. I look forward to that.
With Kenny and DJ. And we go from there, my friends. But
I'm doing something Monday, 8, 9 o'clock-ish. If you're busy, totally understand it. If you ain't, just drop us an Insta. Up to you, bud. I know you'll be on with Lee, before. So if you wanted a bit of a break or whatever, no problem. But if you fancy jumping on, you're always welcome, Jez.
Nah, I'm always around, mate. You know me. Yeah, just let us know, brother, and I will be there. Big up, you boys. Big up the chat. And tomorrow, I'm not confident. Midday, we're shit at midday kickoffs. So
yeah. Hendo made that point up there as well. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Yeah, take care.
What are you thinking? 1-1, you said, wasn't it?
Yeah,
take care, Jez.
I'm going 1-1, mate. I'm going 1-1.
Yeah,
we might nick it. Might nick it.
I hope so.
I'm not sure.
Yeah. Yeah. My big up, man. Thank you very much for coming on, and I'll catch up with you very soon, Jezza.
Take care, boys.
Take care, bud.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, sweet, man. Just get a couple of bits from the chat here as well. We got Long Hair Jetty, man. Big up as well while I was saying about channels. Don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel. We're at 200 today. We got to 200 subscribers, and we're on our road to 250. So do your thing, man. And also don't forget Long Hair Jetty, his channel. If you're a Nottingham Forest fan, go check the geezer. If you're a football fan, go check the geezer. If you're a bit of a gamer, go check the geezer at Long Hair Jetty's Cave. He's saying, big up as well, brother. I've seen loads of shows this week, and it's all just the same from Gooners. One show after the other saying the same thing by different people. Yeah, man, look, I totally get it. But what you got to understand is, man, is you're probably watching the same channels, similar channels that saying sort of same thing. It's because we're speaking from facts, isn't it? What we are seeing is not good enough, man. We've all got the same thing to say because the same thing's happening, man. And I'm actually sort of glad to that extent that there's more channels, especially the smaller channels like mine. There's a couple more that are speaking out and calling this shit out because Lee Gunner and Northside can't do it all on their own, I think we need people like me and fantastic people that go on shows like Macy, that way round, that come on and are just showing that they are absolutely disgruntled and pissed off. It doesn't matter what country you live in, whether you live in England, whether you watch the games at home, whether you're like me, you go to the games, it doesn't matter because we're all invested in here and we are pissed off with what we are seeing, man. Absolutely pissed off. It's not good enough, and we need to carry on saying this, man, because it's not good enough. But yeah, big up, man, big up. Always a pleasure. And thank you very much for jumping in as well. What did I just see here? Was that right? Yeah, apparently Vardy's injured, so he's re-injured. I don't know. I'll have a little sort of deep dive into that, Hendo. I didn't know that. I thought he was just coming back for this game, but I trust your knowledge, kind sir. Have you heard anything about that, Mace?
Not sure, Aaron, but if Jamie Vardy is injured, then I'm not sure. They still got Jordan Ayew up front. He's another problem because I've seen him score goals like that. So we've got to be careful of him, and we've also got to be careful of Bobby de Cordova-Reid. He's another one too. Because do you remember when he was playing in the colours of Fulham and he scored against us? He's another one that I'm worried about. He's fast. He's like the version of the Flash, because he's super fast and he can absolutely skill up our defense. And if Calafiori starts, then he's going to be in for a real nightmare with the Cordova-Reid. Yeah.
No, mate, I totally get it. Yeah, we can't just sort of sleep on the fact that Vardy sort of might be injured. We've still got to go in and make sure whoever they play up front, we've got to nullify anyone who's up front. I mean, obviously we're not going to wish sort of injuries on Jamie Vardy, but hopefully it's let's put it like this. Hopefully it's whatever injury can last one more day, you know, because he does usually give us one of them straight in the back, doesn't he? But you're absolutely right. Look, you know, whoever's going to be up there, we can't let our guard sort of down. You know, we need to be going in there like Jamie Vardy was playing. You know, we were sort of always taught something when we played football early days. You know, when we were spanking someone. Well, not spanking, but you know what, you're 1 or 2-0 up and you're all over them. Our manager at very youngs would always say to me, play it as if it's 0-0. Don't get your head that, you know, oh, it's 2-0 up. And that's sort of what I'm sort of saying, you know, play like he is playing, you know, like there is some big threat. Always keep your sort of guard on and don't sort of, you know, don't sort of rest on that, you know, because that's when the damage happens. And Arsenal do that too bloody often. Dad's saying Son and Panel. It's a good point that he's bringing up, man. When you win nothing at domestic level, we don't. European level, you're nowhere. Absolutely not. How long can you consider yourself a big club? Look, listen, man. We haven't really won anything. When you say domestically, to be fair, we've won a few FA Cups, which is domestic. We've just been terrible in the league, as you quite rightly will point out, in 21 years. We are not happy with that. Our Carabao Cup, League Cup, whatever you want to call it, has been pathetic. 1993, that was Sheffield Wednesday 2-1. That's not been good enough. You know, we've been in three finals since then, and I mean, all had different levels of humiliation for different reasons. Domestically it's frustrating, but the very fact is, Dad, is Arsenal wasn't built 20 years ago. They were created in 1886. We've been going for 139 years, and as a historic club, we are the third biggest club in England, and that will never, ever, ever, ever go. Well, I suppose actually it will do if Manchester City and Chelsea catch up, but you get the point. Our history stems back way more than 21 barren years in the Premier League. But I do get it, man. That's not an excuse for not wanting something now. And we are all hungry. Man, my stomach is rumbling for fucking success. But at European level, Dad, no contest. No contest. We are pathetic. Let's reel up a couple more of these. Boda, how you doing, brother? Press asking about the Liverpool game, like he's 1 point behind the leaders. I know, mate. Yeah, it's just all full of nonsense, mate. What was it that Mikel Arteta said a few good press conferences back? I don't know if you know about it, Macy. I brought this up a few times. He said, as soon as Liverpool slip up, we will be ready. The 2 times Liverpool slipped up after that, we slipped up as well. Well, yeah, I mean, it's written in the stars that we slip up here. This
realize that Liverpool have got I know they've got a bit of a tricky schedule ahead, but I still think they can get over the line. They've got Wolves coming up, which I believe they can go out there and smack 4 past them. Then they've got Aston Villa coming up next week, and it's going to be tricky, but I think Liverpool can do it. They always find a way, because you can't count them out, because they always find a way to get the job done, and I praise them for that. I respect Liverpool.
Credit where credit's due.
And then they've got Man City coming up, even though Man City are on a bit of a slump. And I praise them because of Pep Guardiola, because he's got them over the line. And I always called them the Megalodon Sharks, because they always find a way to
fucking Megalodon.
Yeah, because they always find a way to. Huh? A Megalodon.
Oh, Jason Statham, isn't it? Yeah, from that. It's a fucking Megalodon.
Yeah, it's like the biggest shark in the world. But apparently it's extinct. But they've made a movie about it.
Well, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, with Jason Statham and his classic, it's a fucking Megalodon.
I mean, I really wanted to watch that movie. It's just it was a bit violent, and my family don't really like violent movies. So, but I did see a bit of a clip.
Each to their own, bruv. Each to their own. I mean, it's about giant shark. It's probably going to be violent.
Yeah, but Liverpool are looking like the Sharks right now, because they always find a way to get the job done. And against Man City, I think they will come away with a point, not a win, but like maybe a draw, because sometimes a draw is good for them. Even though points can be dropped from them, they still can find a way. And I think after City, who Liverpool got next?
They've got Wolves at home.
Yeah, I know. They got Wolves at home first.
Right.
Then they've got Villa, then City, and then next game.
That was Newcastle. And then they've got Southampton. That's their 5 games.
Newcastle can be tough, but I think Liverpool can get a
Double
draw
time.
out of that game. Southampton, they could easily slap them up because Southampton are useless anyway. Like, what was the point of them coming back to the Premier League? Because every single time a promoted team comes back, they always get slapped back down to the Championship. You see that last season with Sheffield United, with Burnley, with Luton. They got promoted, and what happened? Slapped back down to the Championship.
Up and down like a horse draws, my friend, didn't they? They are just that. That's why when Ramsdale went there, I was like, all right, thanks for the money. It weren't enough, but we all knew what was going to happen.
I couldn't stand Ramsdale. I can't stand the fact that he smiles like this. Look at me. Friends of Aaron is taking selfies with his dad in the crowd. Like, get out of there. Ramsdale was okay, but I just couldn't stand the fact that he was a bit over cocky with he was a bit arrogant with himself. Like, he's always believing that, oh, look at me, I'm the best goalkeeper. Put me at number 1.
Yeah, and then he's watching the fucking Ducks while he's conceded. Or what was it? He's like, was it Ian Wright that was saying, "Oh yeah, that's it"? Yeah, he's watching. It was something like that, wasn't it? Yeah, he's just wandering around.
There's pigeons all around him.
Looking at the pigeons and the birds. It's like, you're a Premier League footballer on over 100k a week, son. In the first minute and you're conceding goals, I don't want you bird watching, Aaron, my friend. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. It's absolute madness. You know, if you're going to do that, plop up a little camping chair at Heathrow and fucking go mad. Do you know what I mean? There you go. Bring your 500 quid camera in. Fucking
our fixture list is a bit, son. Our fixture list is a bit tricky. Sorry, Aaron. We've got Leicester tomorrow, which is tricky, and then we've got West Ham at home. We can beat West Ham. It's just like, I'm a bit worried that Graham Potter's got them clicking again, because ever since Lopetegui left, Potter has come in and he's really got that West Ham team clicking. So I'm expecting a bit of a good game, but I think we'll come away with it maybe 2-1, because we're not very good at slapping up teams. I mean, good that we slapped up Man City, but I mean, that was it, because we should have, after we beat Man City, we should have gone out in the transfer window at the final day and get a striker. But it's what this football club is. All they do, they just, we don't need a striker. We've got the German giraffe.
German giraffe? Funny you should say about a German giraffe, because I think he's a little bit more like a donkey. And I couldn't help myself. Sorry, mate.
He always does this to the camera when he celebrates. Like, what kind of celebration is that? Do like something better, but instead he's just doing this all the time.
Yeah, celebration of a dickhead.
Yeah, I know.
Do you know what I mean?
I've never rated him when he was like, I rated him when he was at Bayer Leverkusen, but when he came to the Premier League, I never rated him at Chelsea and at Arsenal. But I rated him at Leverkusen because he really kicked it off when he first made an impression in the Bundesliga with them. But
it was the next best thing, wasn't he? Next biggest thing.
Yeah.
And then guess what? You come to the Premier League. We had a nice little trial run of 3 years of life at Chelsea. It was shit. So we thought, do you know what? Yeah. We thought, do you know what? We'll give you your money back, Chelsea. Here, don't worry. You've obviously clearly made a flop. But I'll tell you what we'll do as Arsenal FC. We'll bail you out. Here's 65 M's. Oh, and don't worry, we'll cripple ourselves in the market because we're going to offer him 285k a week.
And
we already, I don't know if this fact is from the start of the season or to now, but let's just say it's from the start of the season. We owed Kai Havertz £58 million in sterling in remaining wages. Get that round your fucking nuts, people. Absolutely madness. Early doors, big up, man. I'm a little bit behind in the comments, so apologies to everyone. Chat, you're absolutely fantastic. And don't forget, like and subscribe. Yeah, big up to Early Doors. And if you are a football fan, obviously more in particularly a West Ham fan, I love his show. Go over and show Early Doors Football TV, Tony, some love, people. You probably already do, but hop over there if you haven't already. He does some great content. Big up to you, brother.
West Ham, they've won a European trophy, so big up to them. At least they can do something that we can't. Go out there and win a European trophy.
No, fair. You got a fair dose to that. And he's saying Arteta now blaming the amount of games now that's causing the injured players. Well, I'll tell you what, Mikel Arteta, if you hadn't have assembled this squad over half a decade and spent £750 million doing it, you wouldn't really have this problem. You wouldn't be blaming it. But guess what? When you win Carling Cup or Carabao Cup football games, you don't blame the ball. But when you go out, you blame the ball. And it's exactly the same as that. It's like any one of you in the chat, Macy, you might watch How I Met Your Mother. It was an old show that sort of ran on for a little while. And there's this character called Barney Stinson. He's got a playbook that he uses to pull chicks. And that's a similar book that what these weird little Arteta sexual fans do. They must just have a little book about that thick. And when all these excuses come out, it's just, all right, well, we've got knocked out the Carabao Cup today, humiliated by Newcastle 4-0. Hold on, what one shall we use today? Hold on. Oh, that's it. The Carabao Cup ball isn't adequate to our strikers' needs. You know, what one's it going to be today for going out of the FA Cup on penalties against the shittest Manchester United team I've ever known since my 35-year existence? Hold on a little bit. What excuse are we going to use today? It was windy. I mean, what are we doing here? Like, it's embarrassing. It's just
and
a paid
thing about the FA
nonsense,
Cup,
bruv.
About the FA Cup against United, when it was going to a penalty shootout, Arteta was bringing in all of his coaching staff and the set piece coach and said, oh, I'm going to bring every single one of these coaching members and everyone, and I'll also win the dog and he will watch the game as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
Hendo.
What is this
sorry,
about?
go on, Macy. Carry on, bruv.
Yeah, what is this about? Like, who is Win the Dog? Like, is it a PR dog or is it just a dog that they basically brought in? Like,
mate, like I don't know, yeah, if it's just me, but Arsenal were like turning into some weird little fucking zoo. We've got Win the Dog, we've got fucking the manager who's a little rat, we've got Kai Havertz the donkey, and we've got a wild horse at left back, Calafiori, who these weirdos are playing, like calling like Sweet Prince. James. Are we like a little petting zoo or something now, or are we a football club? Like, what actual one are we? I don't really know. Which, I mean, we are just Arsenal Zoo, isn't it? It's ridiculous.
I think James is the one that said that, oh, Calafiori, my sweet prince. Like, he is the one that started this whole thing. So James needs to be called out too from AFTV.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. Yeah. Like I said, you've got all these sort of we'll go back to sort of AFTV just sort of slightly because they've obviously sort of got now the people on there have got sort of so big and they've all spiraled and done their own shows and done their own channels. All cool, well and good, fantastic. But the likes of is that the Gooniverse, is it that you're on about? He just like that James, isn't it? I think he's got something. He does. I think it's called the Gooniverse, and I've watched a couple of bits. And look, if it's your cup of tea, all well and good. If you fancy losing brain cells by the fucking second, all well and good. Listen, I partied very, 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 very hard in my 20s. I can't afford to be losing any more brain cells. Let's just get that right. So if you're like me, you know what I mean, and you've done your up top, a little bit too much damage, doing a little bit of this and whatnot, don't go and watch the universe because you will fucking lose brain cells. It's just an absolute waste of time. And time is the most expensive commodity on the planet. You can earn money, you'll never get back time. It's absolute droll bore fest. It is, mate. Absolute droll bore fest. Let's carry on. Hendo, latest on Vardy is that he is available for the Arsenal match. Right. We'll obviously be facing him. That's all well and good. We've just got to keep it in. Even at, what's he, 36, 38? He's somewhere in between that. And he's still scoring them goals, man.
Yeah.
Big up to him, man. Oh, yeah. What's we're saying? Yeah. Always great to have in the chat. Yeah. Doing a watch long for our game tomorrow. Yeah, that's it. Pop over and have a little watch the Tones chat. Oh, yeah. That reminds me as well. We will be. I sold my ticket. People in the chat. I did sell my ticket to the Arsenal West Ham game. And that means that I will 100% be doing a stream with my dad, a watch along for the West Ham game. So in 8 days' time, yeah, that's it. In 8 days' time, people. Well, I'm gonna have to watch it downstairs because you know that TV is behind us, so it kind of don't work here. I'll be having Dad in arm, both of us. He'll be in his West Ham top. I will be in my Arsenal top, and we'll be watching Arsenal versus West Ham United. And we're doing a watch along. We'll probably start about 15, 20 minutes a little before. We'll have a little bit of a laugh. And I mean, I bloody hope to God that we don't lose because I mean, it's going to be live. And it'll always be able to be watchable. So, Dad, Don't you fucking dare. Don't you dare be a bastard, mate. Be a gentleman. If Arsenal win, I promise you now, right? If Arsenal score and they win, I will not jump in your face and scream and shout and be a little bastard. I promise you, I will not. Not crossing anything. I just won't. I'll be good. I promise, Dad. I promise, yeah? But just tune in for that, people, man. Let's go for the chat. Big up, Robbo. How you doing, brother? Always good to see you in the chat, man. Big up. Yeah, thank you very much, my man. Thank you very much. Early doors there, mate. Yeah, 3-0 Brighton. Holy shit, that's a spanking.
Brighton are
no.
smoking Chelsea at the moment.
Yeah, yeah. Is that home or away?
I think Chelsea are playing away from home against Brighton.
Oh, so Brighton are just giving them an absolute pasting. Remember,
Chelsea
Man City
are in a predicament. They should have gone out in January and got a striker because now Nicholas Jackson is out until April. They're stuck with Cole Palmer now. And I'm not going to diss Cole Palmer. I think he's a fantastic striker, but they need another striker because apparently they've loaned out João Felix to AC Milan, and that was the year they could have gone out and got a proper striker. But their sporting directors, Chelsea, are an absolute shit show. Their sporting directors are the worst.
There's some weird shit going on there, isn't there, man? Yeah. I'll definitely give you that. Hendo brings up a good point here. I will read it out. Man City have one eye on their second leg UEFA Champions League match against Real Madrid. I'm assuming then, by that, Hendo, you mean that it's either like a week before or maybe even a couple of days before. That's quite an interesting one. I'll give you that. I didn't realise that. Pardon me. Yeah, he says, big up, brother. Yeah. Yeah, oh yeah, they'll definitely have an eye on that because they, like I said, with Opta saying that England have a 98% chance of top 5 being to a Champions League place this year, obviously 5th place, I mean, Man City will probably be confident as well that they're not going to finish 6th. So they probably will have all eyes on that game. So that'd be quite interesting to see that lineup. It's a very good point. If we'll win the next 5 comfortably, yeah, I mean, obviously the Arsenal fan in would love to see the miracle in the scenario where they mess it up, but I'm sort of with you. I don't know about comfortably. There's tricky games in there, but yeah, a minute from Brighton. Yeah, is that absolutely smashing it? Yeah. I said, remember the 5 years' time? What a joke. Oh, mate, it's an absolute joke, Tone. Yeah. Absolute joke.
This whole started when Abramovich left, and ever since Bodley has come, Chelsea have not looked like themselves. They've not looked like the Chelsea that we used to fear. They have now looked a different Chelsea with Bodley in charge.
Yeah. Do you know what? As well, like in their little downfall, I agree with something Lee Gunner actually says. The managers come out. Do you remember when Chelsea were absolutely flying this year? And Lee said, it was like, oh, the manager's coming out and he's saying, we ain't going to win the Premier League. We ain't doing this. Since then, they've actually fell to shit. If your top man's going, it's not going to be for us, what does that transmit into the about 147 players that they've got? Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not going to transmit positive vibes, is it? Do you know what I mean? But Chelsea getting battered everywhere they go. Absolutely hilarious, man. Yeah. Yeah, it's madness, man. As what we're saying, Tony, Chelsea aren't the same. Yes, from inside the club, are they? It's been absolutely embarrassing. They're nowhere near, are they, man? Like, absolutely nowhere near it. Maresca proving that another one of Pep's assistants is a crap manager. Yeah, I know. Yeah, what's going on there? Maybe they should stop copying Pep Guardiola and just kind of find their own thing. And if they can't find their own thing, don't be a manager. But listen, when you've got mug clubs like Arsenal that are willing to pay 15 million quid to one of them, well, you're gonna, aren't you? You're gonna turn down 15 million quid to have a little pop-up manager in Arsenal, Macy? Because I fucking certainly ain't.
I mean, Vincent Kompany is the only one that's doing well for Bayern Munich because they're currently top of the Bundesliga, and if they win all their games, they could be crowned champions.
Is it? I haven't been watching that much of the Bundesliga, but is that how it's unfolding out there?
Vincent Kompany has got Bayern like clicking again. Like ever since Tuchel left, like Kompany has come in and he's taken like Bayern to a new level with Harry Kane scoring all the goals for fun. Michael Olise getting involved, and João Paulinho, a guy that I wanted to come and play for Arsenal, but no, we don't go in for Paulinho. He decides and says, you know what, I'm going to go play for a top European club. I'm going to Bayern Munich, and look what he's doing at Bayern. He's absolutely bossing the midfield with him Goretzka and Musiala. So them three are terrorizing the Bundesliga with they're terrorizing the Bundesliga in their midfield order.
Maybe we'll get them again in the Champions League and we'll have another opportunity to pray for Bayern.
Yeah,
What was that?
last time. Yeah.
Yeah. It's Macy. Look, Dad's giving it the Barry McGuigan in the chat. You're not winning against West Ham. Respect you, but you're getting turned over. Dad's come with the beans and the chest. Okay, Dad. No worries.
West Ham did beat us 2-0 last season when Mavropanos scored and he decided to and he was spot on when he was mocking us, and I respect him because we've absolutely ruined his career at Arsenal and he deserved to score against us.
Don't be giving him ammo, Macy. Honestly, now you're fueling him, you are.
I'm not confident about any of these games, bro, because I'm still a bit worried that we still haven't got a proper striker in our football club because we didn't invest in January, and I'm worried that the games that we've got coming up, they're going to be tough for us, especially the Forest, Leicester, Man United, and Chelsea game coming up. So them games are the trickiest of them all.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, and that sort of alludes to a point I made earlier. Sorry, my fucking chair. Like, I've usually got a little, nice little cushion on there, and it's not on here today. And I'll tell you what, my fucking arse is hurting. Pause. I've not been able to get comfortable all the time, but I actually even have forgot what the point I was going to make now. I'm that uncomfortable. I'm that uncomfortable. I've actually lost my own point. I will carry on with the chat, though, just quickly while I regather my brain. Oi, Aaron, don't forget the other 2 trophies he won as well. Come on, so don't worry. You'll be there and all, won't you? Will you be watching me and Dad when I give him this? Come on, the West Hams. Oh, sorry, Robbo. Yeah, the Arteta book. Honestly, mate, it is. It's just that, the Arteta book. What excuse shall we use today? Honestly, just like that, just flicking through. There's thousands of them in there, all excuse after excuse. But guess what? The only excuse they don't have, it's our own fault. That's not in there, though, is it? There's page upon page upon page of why Arsenal haven't won anything or why Arsenal ain't winning football matches. Tell you what, Arteta, for someone who looks in the fucking mirror an awful lot, you don't actually properly look in the mirror, do you? Stop concentrating on plucking your eyebrows for perfect symmetry and fucking look at yourself, son. Because I'll tell you what, the reason why Arsenal Football Club ain't doing well is because of you, my friend. And that's an absolute 150% fact. It's because of you. Look at yourself in the mirror and stop doing your fucking makeup and your hair, making it all pretty. And look at yourself and say, why ain't this team doing well? Oh, yeah, it's because I've signed shit players for the last 5 years. It's because I'm the worst tactical manager possibly in the Premier League in game, possibly has ever seen. There you go. Your talent ID, pathetic. At least with that Wenger, do you know what? Sometimes I used to get a little bit frustrated with his tactics, especially we play the same way and we just never really managed to get around, to changing something, having a plan B or that. But I tell you what, he could identify a player. Now, maybe you could say that sort of somewhat differed and changed towards the end of it, the second half, because there's always half and half of Arsene Wenger. And I totally get it. The first half, unbelievable. I mean, we were treated. What an absolute treat we was. And then the second half, we still picked up a few trophies. We still played half decent football, but didn't really sort of do anything. But also, Mikel Arteta, you ain't done anything. Arsene Wenger had credit in the bank after fucking 18 months. In the first half of the season, when he came in 95-96, I think Dennis Bergkamp scored a goal at home to Bolton. I think we might have won 1-0. I'm fairly sure it was Bolton at home at Highbury in the last day of the season, and it got us into Europe. I think it might even been Dennis Bergkamp that scored it. I might be a little bit wrong there. Someone, I'm sure, maybe even Hendo, might be able to correct me with that or give me the double thumbs up with my knowledge. The year after, we won a fucking double. Mark Overmars at Old Trafford.
Yeah.
Mark Overmars and Nicholas Anelka at Wembley against Newcastle. 0-0. Have that. There you go. There's a double. We had credit in the bank. And do you know what? We did face a very good Manchester United in 1999. We should have won it. Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank. Wallop straight into that near post at Ellen Road. You bastard. Broke our hearts. 2000. Nowhere really sort of near it. 2001. Not really much is happening. Funny though, while I'm on that point, in 99 to 2000, 2001, when we didn't win anything, No one was saying, oh, yes, but it's the greatest Fergie team and Manchester United team of all time. No one said that in 99. No one said that in 2000. And no one, sure as shit, didn't say it in 2001 either. Do you know why? Because we had a team of winners that didn't quite get good enough and they wanted to win it next year. They didn't have to reel off the excuses of why they couldn't do it. Oh, but it's Fergie. He's the best manager we've ever seen in the Premier League. Oh, but this Manchester United team, they're unstoppable. I mean, on their day, they were fucking unstoppable, but we stopped them numerous amounts of times. Where was the excuses in 99 to 2000 to 2001 when we finished runner-up to them? There weren't any because we wanted to win it next year. We had a team of fucking winners, an absolute team of winners. What did we go and do? 2002. Bosh, there you go. I'll have that double back, please. 2003, Southampton, FA Cup. 2004 is yours gold. 2005, FA Cup. That we probably shouldn't have won, by the way, because Manchester United were all over us. And I'm remembering, I'm sure it might have been Ruud van Nistelrooy and poor old little Freddie headering it on, maybe second half of extra time, headering it to the underside of the post. But he won shit. Giz has got credit in the bank. I'll tell you, you ain't got shit, son. Look at yourself in the mirror, bruv. Look at yourself in the mirror, man. We're sponsored by Win A Lot Food. Wins fucking nada, mate. Absolute fucking nada. Rob TV, did you see the Arsenal team is calling Rice the horse now? Oh, no. No way. Have we got another animal in the zoo, have we? But me, was he in the stable next to Calafiori? Is he? That's what I mean. Arsenal zoo, mate. It's just a zoo. There's fucking more animals than anything else. And do you know what? While I'm sort of here, I'm going to jump onto a little bit of merchandise because, again, in the last couple of days, what have we seen? Oh, we've seen some more merchandise land, and this is just on and on and on. Let me get it up on the screen for everyone who is watching, man. You've all seen it, just a day or so old, but this, ladies and gentlemen, this is the 16th, 10, 5, 1, the 16th merch release this season. And when I'm doing these, this isn't including the first team kits, or things like that. This is just side merch releases, It's absolutely baffling. This is number 16 of the year. Guess how many wins we got in the Premier League? 14. Where do you think, people in the chat, Macy brother, people who are watching it, Arsenal fans, where is Arsenal's priorities lie when you release 16 individual lines of merch by fucking mid-February and you've got 2 less wins in the Premier League? It's batshit crazy, bruv. Batshit crazy. Let's have a look at some of this shit that they've peddled out this time. Here we go. It's not even nice. The North London Classic. Well, let's have a little look. If you're a member, don't forget you get 10% off. Wow, that for 70 fucking quid. Macy, bruv, you're going to be rushing to get this for £85, 50 pence of your hard-earned English sterling.
No, of course not, Aaron. And besides, this is all on Ian Wright. I can't stand that motherfucker. If I see him one day, I'm going to say to him, Ian, I'm not going to buy any one of your stupid merches. You are a disgrace to everything because I respected you as a footballer because you have given your heart and sweat for this football club. But ever since you have turned yourself into a pundit, you have come out with all your merches and all your wheeling out stuff. You are an absolute disgrace to Arsenal Football Club. Thierry Henry is far better than you ever were. And I'm not going to diss Ian Wright as a footballer. He was a tremendous striker, but Henry for me was the elitist striker in Arsenal's history. And Ian Wright, you are an absolute disgrace to everything that a pundit is. You, Ray Parlour, and Martin Keough, you three dickheads have absolutely lowered your standards of this football club. All three of you used to have standards when you were players, but now you have none because you are just a joke of a pundit like Ray Parlour. Yeah, because remember when we were trying to protest to get Kroenke out, Ray Parlour came out and said, "Oh, but Kroenke apologized." And then Martin Keough sitting on TalkSport when we were in a title race, that was a joke. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, when he said,
but nobody expected you to be in a title race.
Motherfucker. Who the hell do you think you are, Martin Keough? You were a top defender, and now you've lowered your standards, saying that top 4 is a trophy. Bro, you are an absolute disgrace, Keon. You're an absolute disgrace.
100%, man.
Yeah.
I'll read a couple more of these comments out. Let's just quickly scroll down some more of the shit. Macy, though, I will say, if you didn't like it in this color, you can get it in black though for 85 quid. That sounds like an absolute steal. Or you could have this cream scarf though. Look at him. You could look like this, Macy. You could look like that for £22.50. Oh, but then you'd also have to buy the rest of it.
You know, my uncle got a ticket and he asked me if I wanted to come to the Emirates. I said, I'm sorry. Please, I'm sorry, uncle. I don't want to come. I'm just not in the mood of coming to the Emirates Stadium. And he said, okay. And respect to my uncle. Big up to him. But there is one person I need to call out, and it's my dad. And he's an Arsenal fan. And I keep asking him, Dad, are you still Arteta in? Because if you were, then you are a top gooner. And he keeps on saying, oh, but Macy, why are you still criticizing Arteta? The players are the ones that are not performing for him. Well, Dad, maybe it's because he keeps buying these players and none of them are interested in playing for him. But I think now he's slowly starting to turn on Arteta, slowly, but it's going to take time for him to like get into the habit of this whole Arteta thing. I mean, this whole thing has just like poisoned my dad. Like, he's really got into this whole Arteta thing, but I think slowly but surely he will slowly start to turn on Arteta.
Yeah. Well, listen, in the words of the late great Amy Winehouse, you asked Macy to go to Arsenal. He said, no. Yeah, fair dues to you, bruv. Like, we have got back to this. Look, they love a varsity jacket here, don't they? For £112.50, you can be a muppet wearing one of these as well, people. Absolute madness. Or for a complete and utter plain, I don't know why they do the writing in black as well. You can spend 60 quid on a fucking plain black hoodie. You could look like this mug with another scarf for £22.50. Or if you wanted this look, you could look like that mug for £76.50. I can't believe how much more. Oh, there is more. Horrendous football t-shirts.
There's another pundit that I need to call out, and his name is...
You go, bruv. You go, man. This is the call each other, bruv. You say what the fuck you want,
that I need to call out, and he's another one that needs to have a chat, and his name is Paul Merson. Paul Merson. How can you sit here last season when we beat Manchester United 1-0, and then after that, like in your Soccer Saturday panel, you said, oh, if Tottenham beat Manchester City, then I might as well go get a Tottenham tattoo. Paul Merson, bro. Seriously, wow. You have basically showed your true colors to the world. You're another one that I respect as well. And I know you are a Chelsea legend. This is not Chelsea. But bro, you are another joke of a pundit. Like, these pundits have all turned themselves into jokes. Gary Neville is another one, because every single time we win a game, he's always saying, oh, big up Arsenal, big up. Like, he's a Manchester United fan, but he's still basically cheering on for our team. Like, Gary Neville, go and support your football club, mate. Like, who do you think you are?
Yeah. What do you think of Gary Neville and Jamie Carragher? Just while we're sort of on that little topic, what's your thoughts on them? They are no good, are they, man? They are basement
back in the day, but they've turned themselves into hypocrisies of pundits. Like, Carragher's still continuing to say, oh, but you can't deny the work that Arteta is doing at Arsenal. Like, and Rio Ferdinand as well. I heard he's got his own show.
Who has? Oh, what, Rio? Yeah, I think he's had his own YouTube thing for a little while, to be fair.
Yeah, even Rio's coming out saying, oh, but like you can't like, oh, but Arteta is doing an incredible job building a young team full of quality players. Like, every single pundit is a joke. But there are other pundits that I will respect and praise for, and that's Ori, Lundberg is another one that I praise as a pundit because he's saying, I still think Arsenal aren't ready to win the league, and he's right because we ain't ready because we're not that good anyway. And Ori as well, and Ori is saying from the bottom of his heart, he's saying, I still think Arteta is still not the man to take Arsenal forward, and he's right. Ori is
He's
right
damn
because
bloody right.
yeah, because he knows what's going on at this football club, and he's not going to let a scumbag like Arteta destroy this great football club because this is the football club that he loves, that he has played for, and he has respected all his life, and he's not going to let Arteta destroy this football club and burn it to its core. He ain't going to stand for it. Neither is Patrick Vieira, and neither is Freddie Lundberg or Dennis Bergkamp. Neither one of them are not going to let Arteta destroy this football club because they love this football club too much.
Yeah. Yeah, no, facts, man. That's why I like having you on there, man. You talk absolute facts, Macy. I can't envision you anytime soon spending 36 quid on the 1886 North London beanie. And that's what is all this about? So I'll get this off screen soon. But look at the state of all of this stuff, man. It's all crap.
It's the one that.
It's all boys. It's all absolute crap. And that's why I do this, bruv. That's why I always get this stuff on screen, yeah, because people, they can listen, but they listen better when they can see things. And when you put shit like that on screen, it's absolutely jarring, bruv. And I'll tell you what, one of the things I did see about Jamie Carragher, it might be might be an old one. I'll see if I can get it up just quickly. It did make me chuckle when you were saying about that. I was trying to find the picture on there so I could get it up. But yeah, it just made me laugh, and how it does ring true. Let me add it to the stage. Yeah, well, as soon as I hear them two, that's exactly what I see. Dumb and fucking dumber.
Yeah,
I got sent it the other day. I was like, do you know what? That's quite funny, man. That's quite funny. That's all I see when I see that nonsense, man. Let me just go through some of the chats. Craig, man, he's been one of my friends since day dot. How you doing, brother? I'm big up as well. Connor, Ronnie. Shove the missus. Hope you treated her well on Valentine's Day, Craig. Knowing you, you didn't. You know, not because you're a bad one, because like me, Valentine's Day is a load of shit. So I respect that. People, do you know as well for Valentine's Day, and this is God's honest truth, yeah. And I am not watering down or bigging up any of it, yeah. So I've been with my missus 11 years, yeah. So 11 years ago, obviously to the day, because it's Valentine's Day. We'd only known each other for about 3 months, yeah. I met her December the 22nd, 2013. And I don't like flowers and all that shit, because I think it's a load of nonsense. I ordered some flowers. I spent a pretty penny on them and all, and I got them sent to her nan's. Little did I know that I was accidentally going to be there at the time of their delivery. So I was like, oh, it's a little bit spoiled, the surprise. And she opened the door anyway, and I was sat full view of the door. She opened them and she went, oh, for fuck's sake, what? Beep! Bought me these. What? See you next Tuesday, bought me these. From that moment, I knew I was going to marry her and spend the rest of my life with her. She won me over. She went, what? Bought me these. I was like, what? You can't stand flowers? I was like, I bought them for you, by the way. She's like, I hate them. I was like, I hate them too. She's like, I don't even like Valentine's Day. I was like, I hate it too. I've known her 2-3 months. I will stay with you for the rest of my life, girl. 11 years later, we are still going strong. Big up, Aussie, man. Oh, he's gone. He's there. He's gone. He's here. He's everywhere, Aussie. You're a black screen at the minute, if you can hear me. What I'll do is I'll just remove you for 1 second, and then you'll sort your thing out, and then I'll bring you back in. But yeah, true story, man. She's a good girl. She is. Craig, I've read today all the free agents there. You know, we need a kind of striker. Surely we can't be picky. Bring back Sanogo. Well, bruv, Arteta, we've already sort of done this a little bit, but I'll sort of bring it back in. We are saying no to some of the free signings because they're not the right player profile.
I heard we've been linked to Carlos Vela, we've been linked to Carlos Vela, like a 35-year-old Carlos Vela. Like, I like Carlos. I mean, Vela was a great player, but why would he come back to Arsenal? Like, he's already going to go and play in another team. Like, maybe go back to America because the Major League Soccer was his level there. So Why would he want to come back to Arsenal at 35 years old?
Bro, we was already linked back with Lucas Perez.
Yeah, and we were
Lucas
linked to
Perez, what's
Santi
that all
Cazorla
about?
as well. We were linked to 40-year-old Santi Cazorla. Do you remember when he was watching the game against Ipswich when we won 1-0? He was watching it from the stands, and he was thinking, maybe if it's true, then maybe I should come back to Arsenal. But
Yeah,
it is what it is. Thing that
it's a fucking joke, mate. Yeah, you know, it's all money and profits. Ace is saying, yeah, all money, merch, profits is a joke. Early doors, man. You don't even have to be an Arsenal fan to know it. Merch FC, mate. You had a choice of 300 million jackets and then bring another one out, mate. We bring another one out when it starts getting a little bit bad. They're like, I know what we'll do. We'll bring another merch clothing line out. It's absolute batshit, mate. Absolute batshit. Darren, big up, brother. Good to see you in the chat, by the way. We should put a duffer ordering for 1,000 varsity jackets on a dodgy credit card. 100%. 150%, mate. Like we should just do it all around the fucking globe. 100%. We'll all just get some dodgy ones. Yeah, love it. When the dog merchandise out next, I think you can get like I haven't checked the website in a little while, but I think you can get some stuff for Win the Dog Aces, bruv. I'm not even joking. I wish I was. I really ain't. NPC, yeah, no players coming. No, the proof is out in the pudding. We're in the free market, Tony, bruv, and they're still not even coming, mate. Aces, yeah, big up. Arsenal going to increase merchandise prices next season without shadow of a doubt, my friend. They'll increase everything. They prided themselves on not rising the season tickets for a long time, and then what did they do? Oh yeah, 4 consecutive seasons they rose it by 4%, 4%, 4%, and this year lower tier, so I'm upper 4%, lower tier 6%. That's bloody criminal, absolute criminal. Yeah, 25 quid for a scarf. Does it wrap around your neck, mate? I hope it wraps around Mikel Arteta's neck just a little bit too tight, if you catch my drift. We need something sort of done with that. 2 Bob Club. Yeah. I can think of another C word that I could call Mikel Arteta with 2 Bob C, but I'm sure we all know what I'm talking about there as well. Aces, whoops, Sam, bruv. Yeah, Tony scarves, so always keep your balls warm. Well, they're that long, they probably would give you a little balls a bit of warmth, wouldn't they? Arteta is yes, exactly right. That could do a job. That couldn't do a job at probably Sheffield Wednesday. 100%. This is what I'm getting at. Great minds, bruv. Madness. Hendo, I've also turned down 3 tickets to the Arsenal matches at the Emirates. My shadow will not darken the Emirates doors until standards are raised. I think that we are going to be waiting. Sorry, I was just reading this comment. I think we're going to be waiting a long time for that, man. Sorry, just give us 2 seconds, mate. I need to reel off. Thank you very much, chat, for bearing with us, man. You know, I've just been waffling on, so I apologise. I will get all these comments read out. There you go. It's getting late. By the Arsenal pillow, yeah. What for me? Old rectum. Yeah, man. I won't be giving them any money anytime soon. But big up, brother. Mercer says tongue about Arteta's off. So, is he? He ain't started now, is he? Don't tell me Mercer. And I knew all the other ones are there, but Jesus Christ, man. Put him down for a t-shirt. And they're not even nice t-shirts. Yeah, it's madness. You've all seen the state of that fucking stat line. Tone, bruv, help me out here, yeah, man. What if you're still in the chat or not, bruv? Help me out here, man, when you're spending 40 quid to this t-shirt. This is 40 quid, bruv. 40 quid. 40 quid for this shit. What we doing here? 40 quid, mate. What we doing here, man? Yes, it's fucking madness. Can't afford to upset clubs. Said lose access and privilege. Exactly right, mate. So they told the line. That's literally like it. Yeah. Dumb and Dumber. They don't like us, mate, and that is very, 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 very evident. We're not ready tomorrow. Yeah. Mate, I totally understand you. What do you reckon on the scores, Dazza? Give us a prediction because I'm going to wrap up very, very, very soon. Give us a cheeky prediction. Which saying, yeah, all getting paid top dollar, yeah. Oh, I would invest 36 quid in Bitcoin, but not an Arsenal woolly, mate. Oh no, yeah. Otherwise, you'd be an Arsenal wally. I can't guarantee you all the excuse of failing to beat Leicester will be Arsenal are ring rust. Yeah, they've not played a match for 10 days. Oh, 100% Hendo, man. If that comes out, that's hilarious. I'm actually with you. Yeah, your missus knew your name, Aaron. Yeah, joking, geezer. yeah. I mean, to be fair, I know where you're going with that. Fucking hilarious, but she didn't. That was just, it was gold to watch because I looked at it. I was just like, yeah, man, that's cool. That's my woman there. Yeah, and she has been for 11 years since. Buzzing for that. Yeah, we don't do Valentine's Day though, man. Because it's a fucking con. But I treat it like a princess every day, you know. There we go. And Valentine's for newbies and shops on track. Yeah, exactly, man. Yeah. That is a one-trick pony, not good enough for now or then. Yeah, or tell you what though about Carlos Vela, he did have a fucking good little chip on him, didn't he? I'll give him that. He always knew how to dink it over a keeper. Couldn't lack it in the Prem. Might as well have Alexis Sanchez back. I mean, yeah, I'm totally with you there. Dad, what you saying? Valentine's Day, mate. I allowed Julia, love it, to buy me a pub lunch, a few pints. It made a fucking day. Romantic bastard or what? I tell you what, Till, aka Daddy, you are an absolute romantic for Julia. I don't know where I get my romance from, but it definitely ain't you, because you are something special in the old romantic department. You allowed her to buy you a beer and a bit of fucking grub. What a geezer. You're a true gent, mate. Knight in shining. Down, yeah, Lucas Perez is not given a chance. I disagree with you there, Down. I do, yeah. I mean, he wasn't given a chance, granted. But you know, not for me, bruv. Arsenal Fashion Club, yeah, man, Robbo. Look, that's what we're turning. Have you seen the thing? 49 merch releases, absolute madness. I've seen it in the shop, yeah, absolute madness. Just stop oil. Go visit the armory. Imagine, yeah, just dashing all their powder all over there, man. Bricktop, a couple of geezers from Parkhurst to visit the training sessions. I'd love it, mate. Yeah, well, I won't say it. Greenford, Chelsea, Merse. Yeah, well, we're not too far away from Greenford. I'm not. Yeah, I didn't know he's from Greenford, but I know that his brother lives in Norfolk. I can't think what his name is. It's got up my head, but my mate Craig used to work with him. Aaron, I can go at Northwell Market and pick up a top for a £5. And you know what? It'd still be more value than this shit on the screen, mate. 100%. Sure, he will get over it. Yeah, well, Leicester, yeah, you saying 1-1. Let's get some predictions, man. Because I am going to wrap up. Leicester 1-1. You're saying Hendo. Yeah, that's what my head's saying. Yeah, Robbo, brother, big up, man. Like and subscribe to this geezer as well, Mr. Robbo 19 TV, man. Big up to you for being here. 2-2, 1-0 Leicester. Joanne as well earlier said 2-1 Leicester. Not if you buy flowers, it's a sign of guilt. Exactly right. And I never do anything wrong, so I'm fucking perfect in the relationship. Yeah. Henry played a charity game today. Can we sign him as a free agent? I'll tell you what, he still scored more goals than Marouane Chamakh did when he come back in 2012, wasn't it? So yeah, get him back. Great show, mate, and well done to Macy as well. Yeah, big up to Macy, man, as well. Yeah, it's time for me to go. Brother, like and sub to Early Doors. Don't piss around. He's a proper geezer. Go over there, like and sub. And he's saying as well, big up in the chat. Have a great weekend. You too, my friend. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And that's a great point if you haven't already. I've got 200 today. We'll get to 250 next, and we'll just see where it goes. I'm not going to be one of them YouTubers that wants to, is all about stardom. I just want to come on when I want and talk about Arsenal. And thankfully, some of you fucking watch and follow, and I'm always grateful and appreciative for that. But yeah, man, good night. Yeah, good night, Tone. 49 merch releases. Yeah, big up, man. And there's the last one. Yep, good night. Chat. Big up, man. And big up to Macy as well, bruv. I know you haven't got a channel or anything like that, but before we do wrap up, I don't know if you want to be followed, if you've got Insta, if you do any of that. I think you haven't, but have you got anything in the pipeline? I know you like going on people's shows and saying your thing, and we're grateful for it.
I would love to have a channel one day. It's just like, it's because the thing is, my family don't like it when I'm live, and then I show my face to the whole world. It's for my protection, because my family really care about me, and they will do anything to make sure that I don't do anything like dangerous. So it's best if I don't do anything, if I don't create a channel. So yeah, well, you know, like you're the master of your own destiny. You'll know what's right for you. But you know what? One thing I will say, my friend, is is if you know you're still always willing to come and do on for other things. People like what you've got to say, and you know, Daz is here saying, and I know there's plenty of people as well saying, you know, we like your opinions, you know, so keep doing what you're doing, man. It's difficult, and this is what people don't understand. Like, you know, putting your face out there and having an opinion as an Arsenal fan, especially if you're one with half a brain, like we have,
and you know you're willing to call it out and go against the grain, which is Arteta, got, then you know it's difficult. But big up for you, man, and big up for all of us that do it. You know, Robbo in the chat, Darren in the chat, we all put our faces, whether you've got a channel or not. Do you know what I mean? You're appearing on there and you're putting your face out there for people to see and listen to what you've got to say. And big up for it, bruv. And everyone's saying the same thing, man. Yeah. Robbo was saying, yeah, I can follow you, man. Yeah, but Robbo likes hearing what you're saying, man. It's a good people, top man. I keep the channel going. Yeah, I will do, man. I don't stream as much as I'd like to. But I've also got, you know, a young family and kids that need my attention and all that other shit. Do you know what I mean? But that's why I created it, bruv, man. Not to be the next League Gunner, man. I'm happy for there to be a League Gunner. I don't want to go into that sort of level of it, man. But what I do want to do is come on, when I want to bloody talk about Arsenal, I will talk about Arsenal whenever I want. And if some people want to watch, that is absolutely fantastic because I love engaging with people like Robbo's and Hendo's, Darren in the chat. Do you know what I mean? Everyone in the chat. Do you know what I mean? I love it. I love talking about Arsenal. It's my passion, and they'll always be my passion. They frustrate me and they piss me off to some fucking high level, but they are my passion, and I love it. And do you know what? My opinion and the way I present myself got me lucky enough to be able to go on stream with people like Lee Gunner regularly and Jez regularly and Kenny's and Matt's and you know the DJBs and Northsides and things like that. I'm grateful for it, man. And everyone else as well. I'll go on other channels and put my bits around, not because I give a fuck about any YouTube money. Of course I want the channel to do well because I'm a fucking winner. But you know, it's not why I created it, man. It's just so we could have a place where we can just talk about Arsenal. We can have a bit of swearing. You know, I like a little bit of that because it's how I talk when I talk about Arsenal. I don't want to talk like we're down the pub because I'm a geezer. You know, this is what we want, people, man. But Macy, big up, man. I'm greatly appreciative of you. If you coming on, man. I'm just gonna reel these last couple out because I had a little fucking go there. Macy, I'm the same, mate. I've a family tell me off, but as long as you don't do or say anything illegal, exactly right, man. And Macy's good stuff, man. Like I've watched a lot of what you say, man. He's always good stuff. At the end of the day, if someone tries to steal your dinner money, I'm with you down. Point where you have to get out there. Absolutely 100%, man. And on these last comments from Robbo, we will end the stream. Save me, family first, and then the rest. Final invocation next week. Enjoy, bruv. Enjoy. No work, no nothing. You enjoy it. And on that note, people, we will leave. Thank you very much. Don't forget, like, sub if you haven't already. And we will see you very soon. Macy will be on screen very soon. He's always welcome on this channel. 150%. Big up, man. Enjoy the rest of your Valentine's Day. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Yeah.
Take care, man.
Bye,
bro. Anytime. Anytime, mate.
Thank you.